I think this bike can win a stage, completely stock out of the box. Like, it is a stage winnable bike. And we're working on it to be able to win the cars now, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tyler. Thank you so much for joining me today on the eveRide channel, where we've got an absolutely amazing kind of Ford versus Ferrari story going on. Last week, my friend Todd texted me that he wanted to set something up with Mason Klein, the young and unbelievably talented rally pro who recently partnershiped with Kove to race their new EX as a privateer in next month's 2024 Dakar Rally, the biggest, most demanding off-road race in the world. Despite being insanely busy with training, bike prep, and only having a month to deal with all of the logistics of the Dakar, which teams spend years preparing for, Mason still invited us to his home, where we learned more about rally in 1 hour than I had known for my entire life, and 1,000 times more than simply watching Dakar clips on YouTube. So we're going to get right into the interview where Mason talks about his experience racing for KTM, how the KTM Rally replica that he raced for 2 years stacks up versus the Kove Rally Pro, and within the interview I'll be showing clips of Mason absolutely railing the Kove 450 Rally Pro in some secret spots near his home. You guys, this is pretty definitive. Mason absolutely has what it takes to win this thing. And you heard him say it, so does the Kove. Thank you so much, Mason, for letting us come and interrupt your important time. You guys are going to love this.
If you're unfamiliar with who Mason is, tell us a little bit about the record here.
I'm pretty proud of the last 2 races I did, because I won. First 2 rallies I've ever won overall. First one I won was the second largest rally in the world.
How do you say that one? Because I was reading
the Sertoes rally.
Sertoes, okay.
And then there's also the Thousand Dunas rally. So that was pretty cool for me. Getting to fly to another country and come home with all the trophies is obviously cool. But also, I've done Dakar twice. My first Dakar, I ended up 9th overall, and my second Dakar, I did crash out. But
like at the very end, though.
Yeah, I didn't finish the last stage. I think actually.
That sucks.
I woke up and the motorhome was already going. I had 2 big crashes where I lost consciousness, and it was just basically riding like an idiot out there. But I was overall leader twice during this rally, and I did win a stage, so there's something to talk about at least, and I'm pretty happy with that.
So he's incredibly talented, but how old are you?
I'm 22.
And how old is Matthias?
I don't actually know, but for sure there was a 3 in there.
Okay.
For sure, you could say he is mentor, you know?
That's cool.
I learned a lot from him about how to win also. Like a lot of secrets out there, so yeah, for sure you can't win without the knowledge of the guys before you. For sure, it's important.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of the riders are super cool. Like, you ride with Skylar Howes a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
I just celebrated Skylar Howes Day.
You got out and rode? You did something cool?
I didn't, because my arm was busted, but...
You did something cool?
No, I probably sat in bed.
Come on, man.
No, actually,
but anyways, you were in Utah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, November, that's my wife's birthday, so, you know, we did birthday things for Skylar Howes Day. That's how I remember Skylar Howes Day. Actually, that's how I remember my wife's birthday. No, just kidding. That would be terrible. No, but yeah, Skylar Howes, St. George, you've trained a lot, and
we did do a lot of work together, and I think definitely it helped us both these last few Dakars. For sure, our results are improving working together. But yeah, we'll see what I'm doing this next year. This whole year, I've been doing a lot of work with a rider named Harth Noah. Mm-hmm. He's been like my physical trainer. This is the idea of being out here in the terrain that's actually similar to Saudi, with access to good food and a place to stay. For sure, it's a little bit better than flying all the way to Morocco and having problems out there. It's just safer out here for us, so we like it.
Yeah. I had another question, but I forgot. We're gonna come back.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we go look at the rally bike that you've got in the shed? And you could just kind of point out like what you think is good about it, like some of the things that they're fixing. And just be like brutally honest. Just be like, yeah, this is, you know. All right, here we have. Oh boy.
This is where I work. It's normally much cleaner. Like actually, it just exploded like last week because the owner of the bike just went back to his home in India. He's also going to Dakar, obviously, like we said.
And this is Noah.
Yeah, Noah, Kove. He's in the Dakar game. You can play as him. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is part of our Dakar prep, really. Brought my dad and my other friend Felipe Barron out here to learn about the bike. It's in pieces because that's how you learn, right? You have to take it apart to know what everything is. And obviously my race bike is going to be a little bit different, but I think you can learn a lot from these bikes heading into the new version. For sure, there's been some things along the way, right? Like we took the tower off. We did have a problem with the tower. It's part of the learning process too. There is user error.
You're riding as a privateer.
Yeah.
Right? Explain what a privateer means.
Right. So my situation as a privateer this year is actually I'm getting support from Kove, 10,000 of my entry fee, and they are providing me a bike to ride on, and they're supporting me with the parts to fix it. Everything else is on me. It's like a whole other video to go into what all the money goes to. But for example, to ride in the W2RC class, I got the email this morning, that's another 11,000. So if I don't end up in that, it's just because we didn't have the money. And good odds I don't have the money. It's pretty gnarly. It's everything comes down to the money, huh?
Yeah, it's hard. So as a privateer, you're not factory you're not fully factory sponsors, and there's a difference between factory bikes and then the bikes that privateers get to ride. Like factory bikes are a whole different level.
The bike I'm racing is the bike that you can buy from Kove. Like it is straight from the factory, but like off the assembly line, right? My plan is I will be in Dubai on the 20th with my dad.
Of December. I might not be able to edit this super fast.
I'm gonna get to work to make the bike look as close to this as possible before the race starts, before Dakar starts. And I'm just going to go through everything like you should on any bike you buy. Go through all the bolts, Loctite everything. Make sure the wiring is all in a place that I like it, because obviously you have a problem in Dakar, you're going to have problems. Yeah. You want to know where everything is, what every wire does, what every button does. This is part of it. Like this is what it takes for sure to be ready for Dakar, is to be able to take your bike apart, even more than this.
So you told me last night, like how often do you take a bike apart? Whether KTM, Sertoes.
Yeah, so you'll find every factory team, every normal team, every privateer, every Molly moto rider will probably have their bike apart to some similar level as this.
Like every night.
Every night. This is part of your routine. Like the idea is to be able to touch the bike, right? Like you maybe won't see the problem, but you can feel the problem, right? I think a perfect example of that is when you ride all day and you come in and you find you're missing a bunch of spokes, your chain guide is bent, whatever, right? Like the bike feels great, just like this. Like the bike, last time we rode, everything felt amazing, but then you find little things like, oh yeah, maybe we hit a rock, right? Or so it's all part of it, right?
Maybe it's not like directly spoken. I don't know what's in your contract, but like you are helping Kove develop kind of their next generation of bikes, right?
For sure, I'm not sending in every bit of information, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But but also, I am hoping to be able to keep working with them, and I'm trying to stay valuable, right? But for sure, we're putting the bike through the ringer out here, the bikes.
Yeah.
So it's cool riding the 250 and the rally bike. Get to try everything, and I was out in Spain earlier in the year with the road racing team. We did a full day just taking notes, like what can we improve, you know? Things like maybe it's better try taller windshield, or different foot peg positions, or change the design of the kickstand. We have it removed right now because some people, the way they ride. For example, you step on the exhaust, right? Like you'll see the plate is a little bent.
Yeah.
It's because we ride the bike, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, see, when I ride, I do hit that kickstand as well, so I know what that, I know how that goes.
So, and what's awesome working with the Kove guys is all of this on the new bike, and for this bike, they're actually making the changes, they're actually improving it. They're actually taking the advice, and that's super cool to see, because some companies stay the same for a long time. You know, it's
that is cool, because Kove is hungry to make a good bike, and they're hungry to win. I mean, that's.
I like the idea of not plastic gas caps, because like you go from freezing temperatures to really hot temperatures during a stage, and there's a lot of little things that you don't need as a normal person, but maybe to win Dakar, it's a little different, because obviously Dakar is like also a lot of luck involved. You can be the best rider out there, you have the best bike out there, but you go the wrong way, or it's always something, right? And it takes a lot to get through Dakar.
So just as a reminder, okay, Mason knows rally bikes. He's been to Dakar twice. And you were riding for, how do you say, a boss team, KTM?
Yeah, it was. My first Dakar, spent like $100,000 to ride with, it's a pay-to-ride team. Mm-hmm. The next year, I got support from KTM, would not be able to ride more than my first Dakar if it wasn't for them. So I'm really grateful, obviously. This last year, obviously some budget cuts at KTM left me struggling. And really, I can't believe I'm able to make it back. There's been just such a crazy year. It normally, when you go to Dakar, you should know you're going at the beginning of the year, right? And I found out like a couple weeks ago. Putting together an entire team of mechanics and drivers and
brand new bike.
Yeah,
it's
a bike I never touched before.
What is it called? The XE?
The EX.
EX is the new Kove rally bike.
Yeah.
Which is, from what I hear, actually substantially more expensive than kind of the production rally bike.
But which is cool, because like it's like actually made some huge advancements for sure. Like things like the bolt sizes, like thickness of bolts, they just totally beefed up everything. This bike is meant to be killed for sure. Like they don't expect you to take it easy on this thing, I'm sure. So yeah, the money is being spent in the right spots for sure now. The pro version versus I think the standard version, almost every bolt is titanium.
What? On the pro version?
Yeah, look, you see every one of these? This is all titanium.
Wow.
And something maybe I don't like so much about it is I think there probably is a bit more vibration in the bike.
Oh, okay.
So for sure things come loose, but the idea is you should be taking care of your bike every day. For me, the pro version is a bike that's meant to be like gone through every day, you know? Mm-hmm. It's also a bike that you don't have to touch for months on end, but like the idea is you're to race it, right? That's why it comes with the carbon tower and all the navigation equipment. You can do the same thing with the standard version as you can with this. Like for example, with his tower, you throw an iPad on there, and
that's how I do it.
Yeah, we do digital a lot. Actually, the last time we went riding, we had a digital roadbook on here, and we've been trying everything. So for sure, this bike is a race bike.
So okay, I don't know if I could ask this, but like when it comes to, because here's the thing, everybody thinks, oh, everybody who even owns a Kove or has said anything about it is getting paid. And honestly, you and me are the only ones that are on the payroll. And I only get paid when I sell bikes, when people use my code, right?
We bought this before there was money involved.
Yes.
Like,
so Mason,
it's not about the money, right? Like, I'm not making money.
Right.
And yeah, I think it's definitely hard to talk about money.
It is.
Because also, like, you don't want to say they're not paying you.
Right, yeah.
But
so they're supporting you at Dakar, which is huge.
But it's not a job.
Yeah.
I don't live off of this.
Hopefully they will perhaps pick you up next year, or maybe next year you get picked up by Honda, or...
Again, it's like when you try to go to Dakar or try to get a contract at the end of the season right before Dakar, obviously there's no budget anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been dealing with is, even if I could go on another team, it really is like, are you going to do it for free? And the person I chose to basically do it for free with is Kove, I guess. Yeah. And also, it wasn't just like I chose it. They really were my only option. So I'm really grateful to everybody over there. Thanks you and Jan and Jesus from Spain at the China Racing Team. Yeah. They've been super helpful. They gave me the opportunity to be on the bike before it existed. So yeah, it's been really big for me.
So the question I was going to ask, you've ridden KTM's best rally bike, and you've ridden the Kove, and just be totally honest, like, what's the difference?
Besides the obvious, like geometry and positioning and everything, which is actually pretty similar and super easy to get used to for me, coming off the KTM. A big difference is there's only one fuel pump on this bike. I've not had a fuel pump problem. I've not had many hours on it, and I don't know, like,
but you did have
intervals.
I've
had a fuel pump problem at every rally I've done ever so far.
Wait, let me just insert. Imagine that on a fuel pump problem on a KTM. I can say that because KTM doesn't care about me. Mason probably couldn't say that.
It's
but yeah, fuel pump KTMs. Come on.
It's just, when you're riding next to the ocean and you're a lot it's gonna happen. You're gonna have a wiring problem. It's like a fact at Dakar. There's rust and there's no way to stay on top of everything. Like, it's just not possible. Like, it's such a long race. There's so many miles. You're putting 100 hours on a bike in 10 days, so you're really limited to what you got. And you can only change out so many things every day, right? Unless you bring 14 bikes, it's just not possible to get away with no problems. It's just not possible.
So the difference between KTM factory and Kove, like power, suspension.
Okay, the difference right off the bat. Okay, first thing you feel when you get on the bike is the suspension. I really like the forks. For me, they're actually a little bit too soft, like a little too soft. For me, the rear shock is also a little too soft, but I get like a kicking problem. I think it's like, you have to put the time in, right? You got to adjust the clickers.
Oh, yeah.
I like it more than the stock KTM suspension. I think whoever is setting it up in China, like the test riders, they must just be more close to my weight or my riding style, because for me, it actually suits me pretty well.
Wait, are you being totally honest right now?
I'm being totally honest.
Because I just can't. Okay.
There is a quality difference, right? Like, the cost of the material is different.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not cone valves and it's not a track shock. That's a fact, right? But I wouldn't even say for the money, because I didn't have to pay for mine, right? Like, if it's not about the money, I would say it's not a huge deal. Like, actually, most people don't know what one click does, right? Like, most people won't feel it unless you put 100 hours in on this set of clickers and you change it once. Like, those are the people that notice. And so far, I haven't put in enough time to notice with this set of suspension. So that's been pretty great. Like, no real complaints besides the suspension could be a bit stiffer, I guess.
Cool.
The motor. I hear a lot of people complaining about the power of the motor. I don't have so many problems with it. Like,
well, Jimmy Lewis said that that's a typical power delivery for a rally bike. It's
it's smooth,
pretty clunky down low.
It doesn't rip your arms off. Like, this is what you need to be able to ride for 10 hours a day, right? Like, you get on a 450 SX KTM, you're not going to be able to ride that for 14 days. There's just no way, And on top of it, won't be as fast as this. So, yeah, I'm happy with the power.
You're good with the power.
And I get a better one at the car. So, like,
what is the horsepower of the XE, whatever it is?
I think I saw somewhere they're claiming like 70 something.
What?
I'm not 100% sure. I actually have no idea. I'm still the beginner. I'm actually learning about like a lot of new bike brands ever since I started riding this. But yeah, it's pretty cool learning how to work on new stuff. I know how to do anything you want with WP or KTM. And now I'm relearning everything, right? So I'm a really great mechanic, I would say, especially when I have some time with the bike. So that's why I spend a lot of hours in this container just taking stuff apart. So yeah, it's been good for me. This is an awesome experience.
Cool. Power, suspension we've talked about. Do you think Kove would mind if we did talk about some of the problems that this bike has had?
Okay. In general, it's the problems that I've had, or not specifically me. The guy who owns this bike, the problems that we've had. Warning, it's because like
this is being ridden by
like a factory Dakar racer, Harth Noah racing for TVS Racing Sherco, So it's not ridden easily.
Yeah, it's not. Let me just clarify this. It's not like a dual sport rider like me going out. Like it's being like smashed through whoops. It's being. I mean, I'd imagine you guys jump it. Like
We'll go with the obvious, right?
Okay.
This is not me saying it's bad. This is just us saying it's typical with the race bike that you're gonna hit stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I cracked mine too.
Yeah, it's
Fast.
This is normal. I think this is totally normal. I've actually probably stage 2 at Dakar. I went through already 1 skid plate on my KTM, so.
Yeah. Well, carbon skid plates are great. They're light. They protect the motor. Like one time. They're pretty much disposable. That's why I threw a cutting board on mine.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
I would say if you crash hard, this is possible. But that wasn't a crash.
Oh wait, what are we looking at here?
The foot peg.
Oh, just a little bend there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's typical. I mean, we never run stock foot pegs on our race bikes anyways.
Sure.
We usually like the IMS foot pegs. I'm not sure if they have foot pegs for this bike yet, but we do plan to bring some of the bikes to our sponsors to get some more parts made. I think that's something Gary's also doing, to make more parts available.
Yeah.
Which is really important.
I'd like to talk quickly about parts. So I mashed up my windscreen, contacted Kove, and within a week I had every part that I needed. So if you are concerned about parts, they really do have it like dialed down. They're not available on the website yet, but
these boxes are boxes of Kove parts, spares, to rebuild, whatever, so.
They have them. Yeah, it's not like it's a big problem to get.
The Pro version, there is like a delay right now. I think a lot of stuff is actually in the port. Like actually, it's not a joke. Like it's actually stuck in a container at customs. Something that normally we always do is like, okay, let's look at the engine mounts, right? These are both titanium. Normally we'd take a drill bit, we'd do 2 holes, and we'd safety wire these together.
Oh, really?
And you're not going to lose it that way. It's like,
that's brilliant.
At Dakar, my bike will be probably 5 pounds heavier in safety wire. So, and that's normal.
I mean, you do the same thing with any.
You're on the bike for 10 hours a day. Maybe one bolt got missed that night, and you just can't afford to lose the bolt.
Yeah.
Dude,
this is such cool information. Can we talk a little bit about the tower?
Yeah, I think so. We took this one off because we did have a problem.
They were just coming loose a little bit.
So things break because I believe the suspension, right? Like when you ride a bike really hard. Okay, let's say it's way too soft. You're bottoming out like crazy, putting so much extra pressure on the tank bolts, on the tank, on the linkage, on the suspension. So you can have a problem.
Did the linkage actually break?
The linkage didn't break. We had a problem with one of the bolts, and actually we sent it in and they said the problem's already being fixed. It's actually just a problem with this bike and maybe like 3 or 4 more. Because these were, this is one of the bikes that was at the Sonora Rally.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
So this is one of the race bikes that wasn't raced. It was actually just a parts bike.
Oh wow, okay.
So now I think the bolt thicknesses they made them bigger. They're going with 12 millimeter bolts and stuff.
When I rode Sunir's bike and then I rode the bike that was brand new that I bought from Kove, they both felt powerful to me. And the thing is like, yeah, if you're riding single track slow, it's gonna feel, and you're in low revs, it's gonna feel like almost like a 250 or 350.
It likes the lug, in my opinion. Like it likes the.
Well, yeah, it's like torquey enough, but it's not. When you rip the throttle at low revs, it doesn't lift the wheel, which is I think what a lot of people are looking for. Yeah, but once you're high in the revs and you rip the throttle, it moves along quite nicely, in my opinion. Like, do you think it's?
I like the power. I do like the power. Like, I'm not just saying because I'm not because of money, right? Like, I think this bike can win a stage completely stock out of the box. Like, it is a stage winnable bike.
Wow.
And we're working on it to be able to win Dakars now, right? So we're just figuring out the little things right now.
Well, Mason, dude, this is awesome. Thank you so much for inviting me and Todd and everything, dude. This is so cool. I want you to win so badly.
If you want to see me try to win, I have a YouTube channel.
And if you want to help him try to win, he is a privateer, so he does need some financial support, and it would be so cool if people this is like the ultimate underdog effort. Not like you're an underdog. I mean, you got 9th. You freaking
I can't believe I'm going to be able to go there now. Like, it doesn't make sense that I'm able to go for the 3rd time with the support of only friends, family, and some really generous companies.
Yeah. So I mean, if you do have a company that, I mean, is it too late for sponsorships?
It's never too late for sponsorships. Like I said earlier, another $11,000 bill just came in the emails this morning. Gosh. So it's pretty ridiculous. Like, there's a lot of hidden fees. It's not hidden. It's
in your, yeah.
But when you are putting a team together, like in a month, things come quick. So
sheesh. It's gonna be all you guys. It's kind of like this homebrew effort. Almost like a David versus Goliath. And I'm not saying that about you, because you're already kind of a Goliath. Like, you're already a very talented rider. And I was so bummed that you crashed out last year so close to the end, you know?
Yeah.
His helmet is jacked. He showed me his helmet, still got the dirt on it and rocks embedded in it and stuff. All right. Well, yeah, thank you so much, Mason. Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this interview with Mason. As you can see, humble guy, doesn't want to talk bad about anybody, working out of a shipping container in his backyard on borrowed bikes. This is such a cool story. I can see it being a movie. Please go ahead and help Mason. At the very least, go over to his YouTube channel, check out his Instagram, subscribe, follow, like his posts, anything that we can do to boost his reach and get him more exposure. And if you have a business that might be able to sponsor him, it might not be too late. He actually leaves tomorrow, the 20th of December, for Saudi Arabia. I'm so stoked and excited for him. He's gonna do great. I hope he stays safe, first and foremost. But he is up against tremendous odds, going up against huge teams like KTM, Honda, and others. But I've seen him ride the Kove. I've seen him navigate. He really does have what it takes to win. So guys, I will be putting up a video soon that I did with Chasing Waypoints podcast. It's going to be super awesome. We talk all about Mason, all about Kove, all about the rally scene, and you don't want to miss that one. So make sure to subscribe to my channel as well. And as always, much love. eveRide out.